here on the last day of January 2022. We've got a lot of houses. We got a house that's going to go up right in between there. They're working on these ones, a nice big one here. Just so many houses going up now. And they seem to be moving on a little bit quicker. Wish they'd clean the debris up, but back is feeling a little bit better than it was yesterday. I was medicated myself really good, and my beautiful little sweetheart, she gave me a fantastic back rub. She had gone to masseuse school when I first knew her, and she really helped me out yesterday. And then when I went to bed, I went into super stretch mode best I could. And this morning slept a long time, and it's eased up quite a bit. Still sore, but not like it was. So but something I wanted to talk about today. When I was in school, I had a really good history teacher, and the way they did it in that school district, all the teachers started out in like first or second grade, and then they moved up, unless they came in from a higher grade. And I was really lucky to have this one history teacher with us for a couple years, because he made it interesting. He'd give you a reading assignment. You'd read it, never too much. You'd read it, and then you just discuss it. You talk about it, and then he'd give you another assignment. Great history teacher. And what happened with this one time, we got on the big discussion of the plague of the 1500s, and this one big town, I think it was Geneva or something like that. They got set up. They knew this plague was coming. It was ravaging all of Europe, so they were prepared. They had money, a lot of merchants there, and the governor and the magistrates and stuff set up hospitals, and they had all the doctors and nurses ready. And as the people came in, they did their best to take care of them. And what happened was the plague numbers started dropping. So these doctors took it upon themselves to spread the plague so it wouldn't end. They wanted to keep it going. And this is history, guys. You can look it up yourself. And they did. They kept it going. They were even taking balls of the dead people, the dead men, and grinding them up and giving it to the patients to try to infect them. They were actually going into towns and putting plague rags, wiping door handles with it, and going around shaking. Some little girl, I guess, found out about it. She knew the smell of of people who had the plague, that they were using the blankets, and that's how they got caught. And back in them days, boy, they were brutal on them, and they basically executed all of them that were involved in it. But is it happening again? With this baloney that's going over our world, it's just a shame. But that's what I'm thinking. But we got this Trudeau dude. I think he's going to win the highest award in Canada of hide and go seek. He's hiding. Some people did find him at a place where he's hiding out at, but one thing I saw that was really horrible, and this is where the police should be involved in this. If they're not, then they're not doing their job. This RMCP or whatever the heck, these Mounties, we always get our man. Yeah, baloney. They got these guys going on along the highway, and they're filming themselves, and they're putting it online with real good pictures of their faces, throwing nails on the highway to give these truckers flats and stuff. So, hey, this is time where the police got to get involved. This is a dangerous situation. You can't be having that. And if the police don't do anything they're in on it. They're just a bunch of punk sissies, just like the leader of that place. Who the hell keeps voting these in? That's why I think the vote is not, your vote isn't getting cast. Because who would vote a little simp like him? He gets in there and tells you one thing and then does another. So he's a punk. Everybody knows it. He's a Schwabi. But now they got a thing in Nova Scotia's passing some kind of bill up there where if you're it's illegal to have a convoy up there. These punks up there too. They're in the government, not the people, in the government. And also, if you're a spectator, they're going to give you fines of $3,000 and $4,000, stuff like that. So they're really crazy, But the thing that really gets me, whatever happened with this Maxwell stuff? That's just being shoved out. Why aren't their names given out of all the people involved? They made it like it was just oh yeah, they're trafficking these 16, 17-year-old girls and stuff, and you know, people aren't as tough on that as they are as kids, but these guys are trafficking little kids, guys. I'm talking 4 or 5 years old, Mumu's age. You know, this is what they're doing. And in the States, they claim there's 800,000 go missing a year. And this isn't runaways and stuff like that. This is kids that are playing out in the yard and they're just gone. So, and they're covering it up. Most of these higher ups are pedos, guys. You got to know it. And they're sick, disgusting people, and they're running the show. And they're going to put their sick, disgusting stuff on you. So it's just terrible. And then you got this Soros knucklehead. He's funding over $100 million for these Dems to help him out. You know, these people are all sick. But then the other thing that didn't really hit the major news was this coke plane, the CIA coke plane that crash landed in Mexico with 4 tons of cocaine. I mean, you know, they're trying to ruin everyone. They're allowing that fentanyl to come across the border. They're allowing all this stuff. They want it to happen. They want to destroy the people. And the best way to destroy is start with the family and do it with dope. Because you start getting somebody with dope, it destroys the family, guys. Because then the number one thing that the person wants who's doing it is the drug, and he'll do anything for it. Right? And he loses all sight of family and everything like that. So you got to watch. And then this sad bit of news that Miss USA, I think it was 2019, she jumped from the 9th story from her apartment in New York, dead. Killed herself, 30 years old, supposedly a lawyer. And you know, you look at people like this, you think they got everything going for them, and then they end themselves. You know, or did she? Who knows? Did somebody toss her? But it's kind of like Bernie Mac, how all of a sudden he just croaked. He was getting ready to spill the beans on all the crap going on in Hollywood, and boom, he's a goner. So, but you got to look at all this stuff. That drug they use in these hospitals now. It starts with an R. I don't want to say it, guys. You know what it is. Hey, you know what it is. But they might flag me on that if I mention the name. But they're giving that to people, burning their kidneys up, shooting their liver to death. You know, so. And then they ventilate them right away. I remember years ago when I was going through school for a bachelor's of arts to be in the medical, and one of the things they were discussing about was people on a ventilator. That's like, guys, that's the last resort. That's somebody ain't going to make it without. And these people, they just pound them on. And there's getting to be a lot of stories now of people coming on the telegram of where their family, they're taken in. They're not allowed to go in with them anymore. They're not allowed to do anything. It's all up to the doctor to run the show now, see? And they're not taking anything. You can't say no to these people. And they're getting money for it. They're doing just like they did in the 1500, guys. They're getting money for this. And I hope it ends the same way for these people as it ended for the people back in the 1500s. It needs to. You can't let these people get away with it, because they'll do it again. You know, these people are sick. When you put money over the life of a human being, time to end that person. That's a sick person. But you look in the States, all the different wars they start, all this crap that they start, and they don't quit, and they don't care about your kids. You know, they don't care about any of that. They want money. Look what happened with old Saddam. You know, they went in. That was our buddy over there. But he pissed them off because he messed with that fiat currency, and he was selling to China and Russia with their ruble and their yuan, or whatever they call that money they got over in China, and ticked them off. So they made this big phony baloney crap. So crazy. But now they're doing this. I still think this thing in the Ukraine is just a big pile of baloney. You know, the Ukrainian people aren't even worried about it. And they're showing this stuff on the TV, supposedly Russia's soldiers marching there. They don't in the winter to march these people through there. And they got old guns, like when you're going through in the military through boot, and they give you a weapon hold. It's never the weapon of the day. It's always a real old one. So this was like a boot camp thing that they were showing. It's all fake, guys. It's they're trying to hide something again. You know, anytime it's a wag the dog thing. That's just what they do. Personally, I'm getting sick of it. The news media, guys, we're the news media now. You know, people out on the street, they're hiding this big convoy. They're turning off the cameras that are normally fed to the public for all this. They're surrounding the building. You know, so I don't know what's up with that. It's just absolutely crazy that. And then this Trudeau guy gets in there and he lies through his teeth. The son of a gun just lies through his stinking teeth. And they do it with a straight face. He's all serious. And he's a Schwabi, guys. Know this. Start looking into this Schwab. The Fourth Industrial Revolution. Read some of these books and stuff these guys write and what they say and what they do, you know. And the sad thing is, the thing that really gets me, if you want to see what's going to happen in the future and you want some news on that, you got to watch a cartoon, The Simpsons. It's just we're in a topsy-turvy world right now. Now this place, they claim it's going to open, not this, that. But one thing they're doing just like when they going to mandate all the jabs here, except the frontliners, okay? I thought that was really odd. Why did they do that? Now, if you're a Filipino, any returning Filipino, you don't have to have the jab. Okay, great. Well, but if you're a foreigner, you got to have it. What's the point? These people are coming from the same place. They can catch supposedly the same thing. I'm still not buying it personally myself that this was ever anything. Just too much information is coming out now. I hope it turns into the point where these elites have to run for cover. You know, can't show their faces anywhere. They're doing all these things with tunnels and stuff now. There's some crazy stuff going on at the White House. It just seems really odd to me what's going on there. Look into that yourself, guys. That's a strange thing going on. But I don't know. And here in this country too, it's getting to be where, personally myself, getting sick, I'd be afraid to go to any hospital the way they're doing people. It's just, to me, it's getting scary. And here are some of these doctors. I always said this: if a doctor's really good here, he'll go to the States or go to Europe or somewhere and make some money. Here, you know, you see these doctors and you'll see these old ones. I had one. He was an older guy. I got taken in on like an emergency. And right across the street to the hospital. Took a half hour to get there. Go figure. But this guy, he wants you to put you on all these different drugs. Not because it's going to help you. It's because he gets kickback. And then this guy, he was a graduate 39 years ago from medical school. And I don't think this guy learned a damn thing in all that time. He keeps going on, prescribe. And I don't think you're really sick of any sickness. I think you're being poisoned myself. You know, that's just my opinion. But some of these doctors, not all of them, there's some good ones here too. There's some real good ones. And this one guy that I had, you know, he's got like his groupies with him. And when I was saying, what are you putting on that? It turns your brain too much. Haven't you read about this? And his groupies, all these little nurses that flock around him and idolize him. He's like a rock star. You know, they start making faces at you. You know, like you're bad. And then he threw me out of the hospital. Here my heart rate was up to about 175 beats a minute, and he threw me out of his hospital. Just because I didn't want to take these certain drugs he wanted to give. It had nothing to do with the heart at the moment. You know what I mean? Now, if it would have been a thinner for a clot or something like that, okay. But it wasn't. It was, you know, it was some other drug he wanted to give me. So, you know, you gotta be really careful with these doctors. And I'd be, personally myself, in a lot of countries, I'd be afraid to go to the hospital now. I would. No matter what happened to you, you'd probably be better off at home. Because are they gonna slap you with a Convid? You know, it's, oh, you got it now, and start you on that R drug and end you. Hey, and then they slap it you know, one of those, the Convid, you know what, ending, and then guess what? Then they get money for that. Oh yeah, we had to take care of another one of those guys. Oh yeah, here's your $48,000. Here you go. You know, and I don't put it past a lot of these doctors. Used to be when I was young, the doctors were in it to help people and do good, and that all changed. That all changed. It's not that way anymore. I don't see. You know, as the bulk of them, they're in it for the money. Period. You know, they want to do their thing that they do, and they'll try to talk you in. They're salesmen to talk you into do it. I had a buddy that he had a bad back, like I did, very bad back, and and I was going around to different doctors to see what could be done, you know, and I'm getting second opinions and all this stuff, and they kind of get mad at you when you do that. Well, this one fella, he didn't have a lot of money. He was getting no money at all coming in other than his insurance of like $125 a month or a week is what he was getting. And so I said, hey, why don't you come with me? I'm going around to different doctors. Well, one of these doctors said, oh, we're going to put a papaya enzyme in there and it'll dissolve it. That way we don't got to do surgery. We just give you one little shot in there, boom, you're fine. And I was like, I was asking the doctor, well, where does it go after, you know, after you shoot it in there? And he really didn't know. He just gave me a pamphlet to look. Well, it was sent out by your kidney or something, kidneys and liver. And I was like, oh, man, if this thing can eat, you know, dead disc material, what else can it eat? So I was just, no, that don't sound right to me. My common sense kicked in. Well, this dude thought it was a good idea than getting surgery, and he needed to get back to work. He drove a truck. He needed to get back to work. Well, they gave him that shot, and didn't really work that great, so he went in for another one. Never did get back to work. He just basically got crippled up real bad, and then he got a really pale color to him, and within not even a year he was dead. His kidneys failed, he started getting his organs failed, and he was a 34, 35-year-old guy, you know. So they're not all right. You got to really look. And I would say if you're doing anything in a hospital, make sure you got some people that they can't keep out. If they got a hospital where you got to be separated from your people, go find another one. You know, get the hell away from those people, because they're not in the right mindset. You know, when you're healing, you need family, and when you got to make decisions, you need your family there. Now, why would these doctors want to keep them away from you? Unless they're doing something nefarious, guys. It's what you got to look at things like this, because there are so many evil people, and it's coming to light. And I still say a lot of it happened when Trump got in. I got to give him credit for that, because he pulled the curtain back. You know, the man behind the curtain. Never mind him. And they're doing everything they can with the news media to distract you somewhere else, so you're not looking at what's important. I'm really pissed at this Ghislaine Maxwell thing. And look at all the crap that the Clintons did, and Obama, and all this stuff they did, and all the people they're tied in with. The news media's not touching it. You know, they just got this Uranium One thing. It's starting to get released now from 2010 that Hillary did. It's just coming out now. So, you know, the news media should be jumping on all of this crap. They should be on it so big time, but they're not, because they're paid, and they're not. When you watch these news guys anymore, the thing that really gets me, when I see newsman interviewing another newsman, that's a red flag for me. You know, you get that Cuomo when he was on there and he's interviewing Lemonhead, or that little Mr. Potato Head dude. You know, they're all like weirdos. You know, they're not in the normal. They're trying to push their thing as being normal, you know, their agenda, but it's not normal, guys, what these people do. You know, it's just not right. But these are the people there, and I don't think they're not really news reporters. I remember when I was a young person, they had investigative reporters, and you'd get a newsman that worked his butt off. He got an anchor position, and he had teams of people going out. You look at that one they had in Boston, where they went after the Catholic Church. That was a Spotlight, I think they called it. They made a movie on it with Beetlejuice, and great movie. They actually went out and dug and got some news. But they don't do that anymore. Now it's all their commentary and what they want you to believe. They want you to believe like they do, or you're just an idiot. You know, what's the matter with you? So I don't trust them at all anymore. I look right now anymore. I look to Telegram. Is there some crap on there? Yeah. I think there's some crap on there too. I don't put everything up I see. I try to vet as much of it as I can. I got a lot of people joining that. It's a group I have. I call it New Everybody. If you go to my all the way to the About section on the Rickshaw of Philippines, you go to the About section, go to the end. There'll be a link to put the Telegram on. Don't go to the Telegram on Play Store, because they give you a different one and it's censored. So go to that one, and then to find me, you can try the Rickshaw Philippines. If that doesn't work, there's a phone number in there, and you can put the phone number. Everybody's finding me easily with the phone number. There were some people who couldn't find me, and they're finding me now, so that's really cool. And check out some of the stories I'm putting up there. There's some pretty good stories. I don't put all the stories I see up because it only holds 100 of them, and there's some stories I put up 95 stories ago. You know, that I'd like a lot of people see, just to, you know, pique your interest and take a look at this stuff. And but it's a royal shame. I do believe there's some fake people on there. Like, sorry guys, I can't help it, but I really don't believe in any of this Q stuff. I'm not buying it. You know, I could be wrong, but I don't know. Some of it it's pie in the sky to me. I just don't buy a lot of it. But you got to take everything with a grain of salt, even the stuff I put up in there. You know, some of this stuff, I try to look it up as best I can. Like if I see a doctor talking and they say he's this doctor from here and there, I'll go to that site. I'll go punch it in on my Brave browser and say, okay, this medical institute here, who's on the staff and who's on the board, and you can look these guys up. They're real. You know, and sometimes even when you're looking them up, they'll have a picture of them. Or if they did an author thing, you can look up their book. And you can see if you find somebody and they wrote a book, you can go even to Amazon and look it up, and on the back cover they usually have their picture. Make sure it's a real person and not some faker, you know. And they got them, you know, they got them. I watched one woman on there; she was spouting all this, sounded kind of crazy to me. And when I looked her up, I couldn't find her anywhere. You know, I found the name, but none of the pictures match. So look up the best you can. I don't like to eat up all my time on this stuff during the day.
Hello.
Hello, beautiful baby. Nice dress today. You can need like a belt though.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're all clean now? Yeah, my beautiful little baby. She's all backed up. Well, I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to let my beautiful Dolly do it.
This is Rickshaw. Bye-bye. Don't forget to pray for each other. This is Rickshaw. Bye-bye.